Hey friends, I'm here at Macy's Herald Square in New York City with my friend and personal trainer, Andrea Orbeck. We're talking all about Mother's Day today here. So if you haven't figured out what you're getting your mom for Mother's Day, we have a lot of great ideas, not just what you're seeing here on the table, but so much more. And we're talking fitness for mama, health for mama, and so much because Andrea is the celebrity trainer goddess to all of the women in Hollywood. So she's always got great tips for that.
Thank you. And I'm a mom, so I like to kind of practice what I preach.
Yes, you are. We got a mama and a mama to be.
Yay!
And we're talking everything Mother's Day. So don't forget to join us and don't forget to hit subscribe. Hello, hello, Heal Squad. It's going to be a great day. You want to know why? Why, Maria? Because we're going to know better, to get better, to do better. And that's what we do here every single day. Coming to you live from Macy's Herald Square here in New York City. Actually, we're not live. We're what we call in the business live to tape, but that's fine. We are here in New York City. I'm joined by my very dear friend and personal trainer to the stars, Andrea Orbeck. We're going to talk all about Mother's Day, which is coming up.
Yes.
All the cool things you can do to honor your mom, all the cool things you can buy for your mom. We'll start with our quote of the day. Sooner or later, we'll all quote our mothers.
Good.
Unknown. But I learned another great quote today from my makeup artist mom, and it was, never argue with fools because from a distance, you never know who the fool is.
Oh, that's good.
That
Okay.
one knocked me out this morning.
Yeah, that's a mom perspective
I
one.
wrote that one down fast. You have any good mom quotes?
No, there's no hood like the motherhood.
Oh, I like that.
I like that.
I like that. I'm about to join the motherhood.
Yes, we've been waiting.
I know. I'm so excited. Heal Squad, thank you guys for joining us as always. And if you haven't left us a review or, I don't know, a little 5-star thing, please do. We'll put a link to it in the summary below. Of course, we're coming to you from Macy's, and Macy's has been a huge supporter of the show. Andrea, I don't know if you know, but I used to work at Macy's. I was a fragrance spritzer.
What?
Back in the day. So me and Macy's go way back.
Okay.
And so having them support the show means so much to me. And of course, I'm rocking my Macy's, my white blazer that I got from And Now This, the brand. I've got my Joe's jeans on. Of course, I'm rocking my Heal Squad merch.
Beautiful.
So if you have not checked out Macys.com/Heal Squad, please do. I've hand curated my favorite things from the Macy's website just to simplify it all down for you. So I've got great Mother's Day gifts on there and so much more. So check that out. I'm going to talk a little bit about that with you guys as we continue on with this episode. But yeah, and if you want a Heal Squad t-shirt like this, you can go to Menounos.com and you can choose from the t-shirts. I, of course, love the CEO of Your Health sweatshirt.
Yes, great.
Because I feel like the merch is supposed to be a reminder that we're on this health journey.
I agree.
And my mission is to help people make health as much a priority as their career.
Yes.
Hopefully more. So anyway, the merch helps you kind of remember that you're a part of a squad. You're not doing this alone.
No.
We're all doing it together, and remind you to make healthier choices. That's all we can do. We're
That's
not
all
be
we
perfect.
can do. No.
And Andrea, I know you know all about that because she's also the author of this book, Total Body Beautiful.
Yes.
Secrets to Looking and Feeling Your Best After Age 35. And I knew Andrea was going to be in town at the same time, so I invited her to be a part of this special because it is about Mother's Day. You're a mom.
Yes.
And you're also someone who helps train moms to be, and you train moms after they've had their babies. Of course, you're dealing with, you know, celebrity moms.
Yes.
And so the Gigi Hadids of the world, the Julia Roberts of the world, Andrea has been training all of them, and she's also been training me over the years. I took a long pause. And now we're back.
And now we're back.
I mean, it was like a 10-year pause or something.
I know, but that's how it works. We're busy. We're busy moms.
I just at some point was like, what am I doing? I really need the help. and my health has to matter enough for me to invest in myself at this point. And so I was like, okay, I'm doing it.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said.
And so we've been working out together, and I think that was a really huge help for me in recovering from all this health stuff recently, because we went in strong. And then as soon as it was safe, we were starting to do some healing stuff on the table.
Yes.
And I'll share some of those videos at some point with everybody because it's cool. Like I kind of had a C-section, even though I didn't
Yes.
have a baby, I had a fibroid baby.
No, you really did. You had a procedure that was akin in the same way that you would heal. We practiced the steps that a mom would in her 4th trimester when she's just trying to get back. And you did exactly that thing.
Yeah.
Progress.
And this is why I trust her so fully, because this is what she does. And so we were able to do it safely. But before we get into everything, I can't start without honoring my beautiful mama, because this will be my second Mother's Day without her.
Yeah.
And she passed, I think it was May 2nd, 2 years ago. And so actually this is maybe my third Mother's Day, because Mother's Day was the week after she passed. So then last year was the second, this is the third.
Okay.
And I try to honor her in my way. And when she was with us in the physical, I used to celebrate her in every way I can. Whether it was a little piece of jewelry or flowers. I know the last one I did, I made her a beautiful brunch at the house because she was really ill. We couldn't go out. So I used my dining room, which I never use. And I set it up all pretty, and I made French toast, which she loves, and this beautiful breakfast, and had flowers there and stuff. And she loved it so much.
Oh, great memory.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It was really special. So, Mom, I love you. And for anybody who has lost their moms and it's a tough day, I would say honor her memory and think of all of the great times, because that's what she would want you to do. And
True.
And be supportive of other people who are in the same boat as you.
Yes, lifts up all the moms.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, for people who do have their moms with them, be extra grateful, because
Agreed.
life is fleeting. We never, and so you want to make her feel special on whatever budget you have,
Yeah.
whatever way you can. Maybe all you can do is make her a beautiful breakfast. That's not nothing to me. That's one of my favorite Mother's Days I had with my mom, was making her this beautiful breakfast. Gestures are really nice. So I do have on my Macys.com/Heal Squad list Coach stud earrings that are pretty, some handbags.
Nice.
Beauty's always a great way to go. So I have my favorite Anastasia store picks. So we've got some really great cheek colors. You can maybe put one or two little things together. Her eyebrow pencils obviously are iconic. I have some kitchen stuff. Other jewelry, candles are always really nice. I always have bath towels too, because I feel like I was always cheap with myself with bath towels. They always were so rough.
Yes, they're loofah towels.
They're loofahs.
Under the guise of a towel.
So cheap with towels.
I don't know, because when you get fresh, fluffy, beautiful towels that just puff up like you were in a luxury hotel, they are such a splurge. And I do that too. I don't know why.
They really are.
Yeah.
And then funny enough, as I was looking at my list, I had the same thing that you have on your current list, which is the Fitbit Versa.
Correct.
So that's a really nice gift for mom. I believe that price point is at like $169. I can't remember, but
I think
we'll
you're
take
right.
a look and we'll let you guys know.
It's under 200. That's fair to say. Yeah.
Way under 200.
Yeah.
What are some of the best Mother's Day gifts you think you've given to your mom, or some of the best gifts that you've now been given as a mom?
I think I'm biased. So I think that anything that celebrates the longevity of a mom, says that I love you so much, I always want you to be around, or as long as you can. And so I think that, flowers are nice, and they give like that day of quality, but they don't give the full quality of life. So I've
Mhm.
always loved the things that like splurge that we wouldn't do ourselves. The towel was a great
Yeah.
example, but I always love things that would inspire you, like a yoga class, because if it's a segue that would get someone into it, it's a nice way to celebrate their health and their wellness, but also it provides them the place to go to
Yeah.
do it.
And something you can do together, which is
Yes.
really nice. Like having that
Yes.
bonding time is so nice.
It's so great, especially when, it's rejuvenating and it's something that you will both say in the end,
Mhm.
wasn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Like you never regret it.
Or even a personal trainer session, right?
Mhm.
Like, so
Agreed.
my best friend and I always used to do split sessions and work out with
Yes.
Andy because it ended up being a social hour for all of us. We were getting our
Yeah.
work done because you
Mhm.
made sure we did, but we were also getting to see each other. So if your mom has been needing to get on a health kind of plan, maybe hiring a personal trainer for an hour to come in and work out with both of you guys and set you up on a plan you can then continue on
Yes.
with yourself is a great idea too.
Yeah, and it also it inspires inclusion. And then there's a bit of like ingrained compatibility there because you're going to keep each other accountable, which I love. I think that it's just so sweet and endearing to be able to mess around, at each person's level, which is why a trainer is important because you do have different fitness levels
Yeah.
in that scenario. So both people can kind of just mess around and celebrate health.
Not one size fits all.
Correct.
So tell me about your picks here. So all of these
Okay,
are available here at Macy's or at
correct.
Macys.com. And of course,
Yes.
guys, you can online shop, which we all love.
Yes.
These are items you don't need to try on, so that's good.
No, and I love them. So as you mentioned, Fitbit Versa, the reason why I love it, this one is in rose gold, and I love it because it's a watch, so it's a piece of jewelry that's pretty, but it's really functional because you can track your sleep, you can track your metabolism through your calories and your steps. And so if you're going to want to even listen to music, you can do that. So it's just such a lovely thing to have that it's so functional, and it's a way to kind of keep your small and your short-term goals as well as your long ones. You can find out how much did I sleep last night? Like, what is my quality of life categorized in this pretty little thing? I
Yeah,
think it's genius.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sleep's so important. We've done
So
so many
important.
episodes on it. And I think we really take for granted because the body has so many processes it needs to do. And it
Right.
needs to get into REM and all of that.
It
So
does.
you can listen to our episodes with Ariana Huffington from way back, or even Dr. Frank Lipman. We've talked about the importance of sleep. So we sometimes think we slept worse than we did, but we also sometimes think we slept better than we did.
Yes.
So it's nice to see, like, I have my sleep number bed and it tells me how I slept last night. It gives me like a number.
Oh,
Like, you
right.
slept
Uh-huh.
83%. I'm like,
Right.
oh, I didn't think I slept that well, but I
Right.
did pretty good. All right,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
good. Or I've been doing really poorly with this. I got to focus on my circadian rhythm, which is another thing we talk about on the show a lot. So it's good to have something that's going to track and tell you.
Yes, and connect you to your wellness so that you actually have something to use as a data point to know exactly how am I doing? And when you feel good and when you feel not so great, you can look back and maybe you weren't as active as you should have been and you didn't sleep as much as you should have. So it's a great way to actually be introspective to the things you want with wellness.
Funny, I did business mastery class from Tony Robbins
You did?
2 summers ago online when he was in, more the only online phase because of COVID. And he said, you can't manage what you don't measure.
Oh, I love that. Maria, that is so genius.
You can't manage
Yeah.
what you don't measure. So
Right.
it is really important to measure your health goals so you can kind of see if you're on track. I love
And
it.
connect. You can't be disconnected. It's really important.
Okay.
And it's so pretty.
It is pretty.
Yeah, it is pretty.
So what else have we got?
Okay, so the reason why I really like a jump rope is because we've been talking all things mom. And so when we're new moms or when we have young kids, we don't really have the time to go to the gym like our, single counterpart sisters. By the time, you can get a workout in, they're still finding, parking at the gym. And so when you have tools like this, our jump rope doesn't require a lot. You can practically do it anywhere. The smart ones actually will tell you how many revolutions you did, and you can segue it into your watch. So it's really cool. What I love about it is it's hand coordination with feet coordination. So if you want to go back to elementary school, you could do the real simple things that you're jumping over, and then you can build a base. And so it's really nice. And the facts metabolically, you burn probably 20 calories per minute when you do the jump rope.
Wow. What do you burn on like a treadmill?
It depends on how fast you're going and it depends on how high, but it's not as efficient because you're not moving your arms when you're on a treadmill, right? Unless you're on an incline. So if you're actually really huffing and puffing to coordinate, it just is a higher caloric expenditure. So I love it because you can do it anywhere. And if you end up doing 5 minutes, you can aspire to add on a minute. So it's accountable. And then it also has the tracker. So it's nice to go back and kind of, set new goals for yourself. And so if your skills aren't really good, what I like about it, you can even take it and put it on the ground and learn to just start doing footwork. So it's great for coordination, as time goes on. And it's just lightweight and not expensive. It's just so perfect.
I wonder, will it track and tell you like you've done better this time than the last time? Or like, how does it? It just tells you how many revolutions you did.
Yeah, but I actually do think that this particular model does tell you like how many you've done so far to date and then that
Then
day.
you know to beat it.
Yeah, because then you know to beat
important.
it. Yes, yes, yes. And you can also it syncs with your phone. So you can look at the arc of all the things that you've done, which I just think is just so cool.
That's great. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Because I'm competitive. So
No, I know you are, which is, I thought of you when I picked this.
you know that.
Yes, of course, because I
we'll
just
be
knew.
working out and she'll be like, don't go too hard. Just, start at a 3 and if you want, at some point, and then I'm like 3-2. Like whatever she says, I'll go over, so
For last week, you know how you did a 5? It's just anyways, I'm here to suggest.
yeah, she's like, I'm just here to
And then
suggest.
6.5, there you are.
That's what I love about you because you're not like those typical trainers that are like beating you up and like
Right.
aggressive.
Right.
Because you make it so chill that I want to make you proud and I
Good.
want to go above and beyond. But if you do
Good.
it the other way, it doesn't work for me. I don't like people that
Good.
yell at me. I don't need it.
No, and
There's
it's
enough of
not,
that in life.
and it's not their time to prove what they can do.
Yeah.
It's your time to prove what you can do. I say our job is to introduce you to yourself, the things we see in you over time.
I love that.
Thank you.
Okay, what else do we got?
Okay, well, of course, water. We want to save the planet. We don't want plastic.
32 ounces?
Yes, and that's the Takai, and so it's going to keep everything really cool. It's thermal, and then it also has 32 ounces. So, of course, we know that the adage is to get your like 8 glasses in a day, but of course, you're going to go back and forth throughout your day. You might not be as accountable. So if you get something really cool like this, you're going to drink it, and then you're going to aspire to finish it.
So is this 8 glasses, 32 ounces?
Yeah, yes. Well, depending on how big the glasses are. But what they do say is that per pound of body weight that a human being is an ounce, or half of an ounce to an ounce.
Pounds, I need to do 130 ounces.
Yes, or at least 75% of that.
So
and so
130 ounces,
like
32.
Yes,
so 3 of these
yes,
would be good.
Yeah, and so if
no, 3. Yeah, ish.
Well, 90 ounces would, be close to it. But if you would aspire to, let's agree to do 2 of them.
Okay.
And you were to get 60
I
ounces
do 3
in.
of these a day.
I know you do.
Generally. And I add some hydration to it.
Exactly. And so then you're not having to go back and forth and wonder if you really want to see the results of hydration, which are so important, even if you don't measure them in certain, statistics, if you were to take that and fill it and know that you're drinking 2 a day, you're going to feel the results.
Yeah.
And so that's a good accountability. And I love it. And because it's stainless steel, it's so easy to just pour boiling water in. It keeps clean. It's just a great little gift. And I think it's chic,
Yeah, I have mine. I love it. And I like the handles.
Me too.
And I really like having the twist because when I get
the spout.
I feel like I always have so many things to come getting in the car and I just want to throw it on the seat next to me. I don't want to have to be ginger.
No.
So, and I don't want to worry that anything's going to spill out.
No, it is Navy SEAL approved, honestly. You can just like throw it around so it can survive. So you're going to use it.
Yeah.
It's not going to end up like all the other cheesy water bottles that sometimes end up like I'll open my cupboard and be like, why do I have 8 water bottles? Yeah. This one is the to go that I really like.
I had maybe 140 of them. For some reason, it's the thing in a gift bag all the time.
Right.
And we get a lot of gift bags in LA because we always go to events and they always have something.
You're right.
And so, or companies will send them as part of a press kit. So someone's doing a bottle with their name on it. I had so many freaking water bottles that one day I started snapping and I got rid of so many. And then it's so hard when you're dehoarding because you're like, oh, but I like this one. Oh, maybe I'll use this one. So I dehoarded 1 round.
Okay.
And then
good girl.
I was at, where was I? I was at some store. Maybe it was like Target or something. Oh, no, I think it was Target. And they had this stackable water bottle organizer.
Oh,
So you pull it out, you just assemble it, and then the water bottles have their little cubbies.
clever.
And so I put it in the cabinet, and now everything has, it's not just a bunch of them all just
Like a wine
mush.
rack for water
It's a wine rack
bottles.
for water bottles. It's
Thank
amazing.
you. The healthier version of the wine rack
I don't know if
is
there's
for
one on
water bottles.
Macys.com, but I'm gonna look. If
Yes.
there is, I'm gonna add it to the list.
Yeah.
Because they have so many amazing kitchen appliances, and that's what I love about Macy's. They're one-stop shop. They have everything. So I bet
It's
they
great.
have it. If they do, I'm gonna add it to this Macys.com /Heal Squad list because it's changed my life. Because they're
Oh, good.
organized and they're easy to pull
Mhm.
out now.
No, it's genius. And what I do love about a water bottle that's not a single use is they're becoming a real accessory. And I think that that is so cool that it's become part of a look. You'll have your water bottle on you, which is why there's so many versions and they come in different colors. So it's just like it's a great, great thing to have, especially if you were to like fill it full of stuff, or even if you wanted to be creative, you put a little poem in there or something. You know what I mean? You open it up and it's a canister when you first give it.
That is such a cute gift for mom because you could also put stickers on it of things she
Yes.
loves. Macy's has one. Haha. Okay, we're gonna put it up on our site, guys.
Good idea.
And your water bottle life will be like changed
Yeah.
forever. But you can put stickers on this for your mom, like decorate it with things that she loves that says you see her
Yes.
go. And it started when I went to Dr. Joe's meditation event. I knew there were going to be a lot of water bottles around, so I
Sure.
put my name on it just to make sure there's never confusion,
Mhm.
especially in this COVID world. I don't want someone
Yeah,
accidentally
no
drinking
kidding.
out of mine and then,
No, you keep your bottles to yourself.
yeah.
Yes, good adage.
Okay, what's this book?
Okay, so the reason why I picked this is because mental health, in my opinion, is part of holistic health and without it. And so all these things that have to do with heart rate and movement and muscle and metabolism is great. But I think that we also need to carve out space to support moms in where they are in their mental health or their mental journey. And so if they don't journal per se, I found this really cool book on the site that prompts inspiration to say 5 things about yourself that you love, or give a list of like 10 things that you're grateful for. So it really helps someone have introspection and gratitude and to sit with their thoughts and to be able to like make it supported. And I just thought that it was a really cool way to love mom in that way too.
I love that. You could probably write in there the 5 things you love about her
Oh, great idea.
to help her
Yes.
start because it's so nice to see people, obviously. But your mom probably gets taken for granted, like most moms,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
It's a pretty
Yes.
thankless job sometimes.
Yes.
And so to start that list off for her would be nice.
Like this as an example, where do you find inspiration in the world around you? How great. And imagine if like she filled it out and you were able to read it.
Yeah.
What a conversation you'd be able to have with her private thoughts prompted for wellness.
Love it. Annie, when you have worked with moms to be, so for anybody out there who's pregnant, what are some of the kind of safest things that they can do to stay active? Because I know for me, I was going into surgery and I was like, okay, I want to work up until the last minute so I can be as strong as possible
Yes.
to be good on the other side. It's
Right.
the same thing when you're pregnant, you want to be trying, I'm sure
Yeah.
a lot of people want to stay as fit as they can so that their recovery is easier.
Yeah. So the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, the ACOG, has recommendations that I think are pretty tried and true with hundreds of thousands of women research. The key is to continue doing what you've been doing up until you get pregnant, and then you make modifications as necessary. So of course, you're not going to try and start skydiving. You're not going to join CrossFit when you're pregnant if you haven't been doing it up until that point. And then you continue to have conversations with your doctor. Your heat regulation is not as easy, and so you're going to perspire. Your heart rate's going to go up much quicker than it would, when you're not pregnant. So you need to just modify those things. You get overheated, so you have to be careful. And then, of course, they don't want you laying on your back after your 3rd trimester or the 27th week because of circulation. And so those are things to start to modify. Obviously, you're not going to do abs, but you can still do core. So right up until birth, you can find yourself doing a plank on the ground.
Between ab and core?
Well, I would say that abdominals are what we would define as a six pack, your rectus abdominis, your obliques, but then you also have like God's cummerbund that you were given, which is your transverse, and it wraps around. And so you're not going to obviously flex your abdominals when, you know, that space is being taken by the uterus and there's a protrusion there. And so you can do core by activating the abdominals without having to slide them forward by just holding them. The same way when you do a plank, you'll feel your core.
Okay.
And so that's what we recommend moms continue to do, because you need your heart rate, you know,
So
you need your muscle metabolism.
like it's behind you technically, right?
So it's a
So
weird,
funny.
well, it's just a, yeah, isn't it? And they get stretched and you know, protruded, which is
so
what's
they go
on
thick
top.
fold.
Yes. Because they get split, they can get split, right? And that's why you get like, that's why the rectus abdominis in the center can actually have diastasis, because they get split from the.
God, I guess I never thought about it because I'm not pregnant. But that's so wild. Okay, so you can still do some planks and
you can still do planks. They say you can still do cardio. If you're a runner, you can still run. You just need to really monitor and modify as needed. I think that, you know, in the old days, they were scared because they didn't have the data, and they found the data on other things. Like back in the day in the 40s, they would take information from a pregnant sheep. And that's where they thought that they were getting all of their information from. And so they started like actually using women as test subjects. So now that we're educated, we know women's bodies are capable. You haven't been diagnosed with anything. You're just having a baby the way millions of people have in all different circumstances.
What do you think's the biggest misconception about celebrities who are pregnant? Because I feel like I always hear people get, you know, shocked that they're able to like bounce back so fast, but I feel like they eat pretty clean, right? And that's why they end up just being all baby.
I think so. And there have been supermodels that I've worked with that gained 65 pounds, which is, it depends on where you are when you get pregnant and how heavy you are, or how much, you know, body fat you have, or your BMI rather. But if you are active, you're going to stay relatively lean, because, you know, your baby is really just a small little, you know, fetus. It's just it's a fetus peanut. So you don't need to add on the calories till later. And I think maybe what ends up erroneously happening is you think you're eating for 3, but you're not really until the very, very end. And that's when you just take the calories, you know. And so there doesn't need to be a stigma or a worry about it, but you just need to eat healthy. And sometimes maybe we indulge in the cravings, and then that ends up being something that, you know, tips the scale in an area that we don't want. But
I think if I got pregnant, I definitely would gain a good amount of weight. Even though,
but
now maybe not as much because I eat so clean.
You do.
That the me from maybe before a year ago, where now I'm really strict, I would have. And I'm already kind of like a little more blessed in certain areas. So I definitely would have not been the person that would look like that right after.
And I wouldn't, you know, and I would never encourage restriction. I think that it's really important to prepare your body for the 4th trimester. And that is when that's where the marathon begins. After the baby is when the work happens, when you start needing to regulate your sleep and your lactating, or a feeding schedule. If you're not, there's a lot of calorie expenditure when you first have a baby. So you need to get into the habit of, like, you know, resting when you can, eating really healthy foods, being hydrated. Those are so important.
And what do you do with your clients after? Like, how long before they can actually start doing anything if they or vaginal delivery and then a C-section?
Right. So those 2 variables are obviously going to change a little bit. You need to heal because you've had a major procedure if you have a C-section. So, you know, the doctor usually will give the green light to start like walking within 4 weeks, and then you can start moving again. But you need, you know, those sutures to heal. You need the abdominals and everything to start to really, you know, go back to recovery. Really, if you've had a vaginal birth, you just have to kind of modify. You can start walking and just build your template, because if you're fit, your body's going to know how to, you know, bounce back, they call it. But it just depends on how fit you were going into it. And then you just have to physically start moving again, adding on the weights again. And then it's never starting new. If you've been athletic, you can pick it up within a month and a half.
One of the other things I wanted you to share with everybody was the Guasha tool you've been using on me. So again, friends, I didn't have a baby, but I had a fibroid baby. So I have that C-section scar. And then I have all the scars from the other places they had to cut me open. And so you've been using this Guasha on me because the doctor told me I had a massage all of
The
these
sutures, yeah.
so that the sutures inside could
Yeah.
pop.
Hmm.
Tell everybody a little bit about that Guasha tool.
Well, a guasha is just simply a blade. Sometimes it's made out of different kinds of stone, and sometimes it's made out of metal. Mine is metal because I find it's easier to sanitize and clean.
But it's
But then
not sharp.
it's not sharp, it's beveled on the edge,
Yeah.
and it just basically looks like a spatula, the end of a spatula, or whatever they're called, that when you take out the stuff out of a bowl, I forget what they're called, but it kind of looks like that. It's beveled on the end, and it is used in a couple ways, but for the purpose of us, we just wanted to break down the tissue to be able to, in physiotherapy, they call it a Graston blade, and it basically can just like separate the myofascia and move on to the muscle. And then for the cases for you, we just wanted to invigorate the area and disrupt it a little bit so that the body would pay attention to that area and break it down a little bit. Because, you get scar tissue, and the scar tissue adheres really quickly when you've had any kind of procedure. So the Graston blade helps to kind of break it up and then absorb it back into the system.
And then for workouts in general
Yeah.
for women, what are your favorite things? Because there's so many fads. There's so many, oh my God, you got to do hot yoga. Oh my God, you got to do this. So you got to do that.
Yeah.
What I noticed with you is we kind of do the basics of like life, the Pilates movements, the things that we probably saw in Bodies in Motion on TV back in the day.
Amen.
Whatever.
No.
Like the stuff works, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel.
We have not reinvented the wheel. And, the evolution of new science has told us different philosophies about training, which I think has been important regarding like how to build muscle or how to get strength or how to get size, depending on how you want your body to look. There are philosophies that align with that, but the basic fit person has to do the fundamental tried and true things. So I am all about compound exercises where you're going to recruit more than one muscle at a time. So a squat would be an example. You're going to be using your core a little bit, but the primary movers are going to be your quads and your glutes, your lower back, some of your hamstrings. And those are the fundamentals, because you're always going to get in and out of your car. You're always going to get up and into a chair. And then they also contribute to metabolism. So, squats, of course, and then the evolution of that is like single reverse lunges, step ups. Abs need to be really strong for, your core. And of course, arms, especially for our moms. In the beginning, it is amazing how holding an ever-growing baby who is just complete weight in your arms, they get bigger. And so your arms need to stay strong, and then also prevent a nasty little slouch. Because if this is a posture that you're going to have ergonomically all the time with your baby, you need to oppose the slouch.
Yeah.
And use it as a reminder, because if we're poor about it in the beginning, we drive a car, we use the phone, we're on our computer, and if we're busty, we're at this anterior tilt disadvantage, and then add on to a baby, it's all this weight. So I would say posture is a real big one. Not only it looks good, it keeps your back strong, but it lasts decade after decade.
Yeah. Andrea, ever since we were working out, she was like, we've got to get you strong for this baby, because you're going to be putting the baby in the crib, lifting the baby out. So like even lower back strengthening, like those Supermans. Where you lay down and you lift your upper body completely with your arms so that you can build that.
Yeah, that preparation, because those are new repetitive habits that you weren't really akin to, or one isn't, because, we bend down to do various things. But when you have a child, you are bending down sometimes, 50 times a day, lifting your kid off the floor, out and into the, the crib. It's incredible how much stress and strain that's going to put on your posterior kinetic chain between your shoulder blades, your lower back, and your bum. So you have to work it.
All right. Well, now that I'm healing, we're getting back to it.
We are.
We have time before
Maria,
baby comes to get super
my
strong.
champion.
So friends, I hope you guys got some really good ideas for your mom for Mother's Day. And by the way, don't forget the like surrogate moms in your life, right? So my surrogate mom is Violetta. She's been working with us for years. I wouldn't have gotten through my mom's passing without her. So you always have to remember them. By the way, honey, Kevin's on the other side of this. I put some things in a basket for Violetta in my cart on Macys.com, but just remind me to actually buy them now, because I was waiting for her shoe size, because I'm like, I know she's my shoe size, but I want to make sure I know exactly, is it like 9.5 or are we going 10? And then I never hit buy. So remember the surrogate moms in your life.
The buy button.
And I think I always think that's really important, because there's always someone in your life that also needs to be celebrated that doesn't have the official mom title.
Agreed.
And I think that's it. I hope you guys will visit Macys.com/Heal Squad, buy up some things for your mom. Of course, it supports us and helps us, keep doing this show and keep bringing this content to you guys. If you're new to Heal Squad, welcome. You're part of the squad. Like I said earlier, we're doing this together. We always say getting better isn't easy, but it's a whole lot easier if we can do it together. And we're on a mission and we're on a journey. So let's do this thing called health and life together.
Yes.
Andrea, thank you for being here.
Pleasure. Thanks
This
for
is so
having.
fun.
So fun.
I'm normally, just sweating next to her, so it's nice to it's nice to just chat for a
I
while.
was like, look, I have lipstick on.
But I think that's it from Macy's Herald Square. By the way, if you've not visited, the store is bomb. It has everything. I'm going downstairs to get my air tags for my luggage for my next trip because my luggage was lost when we went to the Arctic, but one of them had an air tag. And so the airline had gone on strike. Lufthansa had gone on strike. Oh no, not Lufthansa, the London airline had gone on strike. And the only thing that saved me was that I knew where my suitcase was because they called and they said, your suitcase is missing. I'm like, no, it's not. It's right here. Your suitcase was delivered. No, it's not. It's still right here. We don't know where your bag is. I do. It's right here. So, by the way, really nice gift for mom too.
That's a great idea.
Air
Maria,
tags.
genius.
So
air tags.
there are these little air tags. Apple makes them, and I put them in my pocket of an outfit so that they're there. No one knows where it is. It's in there, and then I can track my bag. So now that I did it with the one, I have to make sure I get it for all my suitcases. So before I leave, I'm picking a few
Great
up.
idea. Great gift.
In the meantime, friends, be nice people, make good choices, and be present.